Lightning strikes in a narrow city alley, and a figure materializes from the light. The man lands on the ground, his arm glowing with strange energy, and he screams in pain. He looks around, confused and disoriented, asking, where am I? Suggesting he has just been transported or reincarnated into a different world or time. He wonders why he's still alive, saying he should have died in an explosion. Holding his head, he recalls his past life. His name is Lin Yen, a former member of the Special Forces. Flashbacks show his squad engaged in a fierce battle, surrounded by gunfire and explosions. During a mission, his team was caught in an explosion, and he was presumed dead, but now he realizes he somehow survived or has been transported to another world. Lin Yen recalls the explosion that killed him, confirming he truly died in that blast. He struggles with the pain and confusion but concludes that he must have somehow come back to life. While wandering the rain-soaked alley, he notices a light coming from a nearby building and decides to investigate. Entering the place, he calls out to see if anyone is there. A figure appears from the shadows, and Lin Yen looks shocked as he recognizes the person, saying, "You are," ending the scene on a suspenseful note. A muscular man screams in pain as dark energy surrounds him. Lin Yen witnesses the man collapse and rushes to help, calling out, "Brother." He notices that someone or something is hiding in the sewer nearby. As the man lies motionless, Lin Yen spots a mysterious metallic object on the ground covered in blood. He picks it up, examining it closely, and with a knowing, serious expression, says, "Just as I thought," suggesting he recognizes its significance or connection to the strange events happening around him. Lin Yen realizes the attackers are masked figures who emerged from the sewers to steal something. One of the masked men spots Lin Yen and panics, saying they can't let him live since he saw them. They recognize that Lin Yen is holding an important item and vow to retrieve it. The leader orders, "Kill him," and they all charge at Lin Yen. Lin Yen, cornered and outnumbered, braces for the fight but struggles to react in time. The scene ends with a massive explosion that rocks the area, signaling the start of an intense battle or escape attempt. Lin Yen continues to flee from the masked attackers, clutching the mysterious object. He desperately shouts for help, saying that if he dies now, the man who sacrificed his life will have died for nothing. A person hidden in the sewer opens a manhole and helps Lin Yen escape. Lin Yen quickly thanks them and jumps down to safety. Once below, he's confronted by a young woman with short blue hair who holds him at gunpoint. She demands answers, asking, "Who are you? Why was I told to stop my brother's murderer?" Implying she believes Lin Yen killed someone close to her. Lin Yen, still cautious, raises his hands and tells the blue-haired girl he just wants to leave safely, not fight. She keeps her gun trained on him and demands he hand over the item he took. Lin Yen complies, saying it's inside his coat, and gives it to her. As she takes it, her expression softens. She realizes it belonged to her late brother. Tearfully, she mourns him, saying he was foolish to sacrifice himself for an item and wonders how she'll go on without him. Lin Yen watches quietly, reflecting that she's just a young girl trying to survive in a harsh world, feeling a mix of sympathy and regret. Lin Yen reflects deeply as he watches the blue-haired girl's grief. Her hopeless expression reminds him of his past life, specifically, the despair he saw in women and children displaced by war. Flashbacks show Lin Yen and his fellow soldiers escorting groups of refugees who had lost everything. He remembers the look of emptiness in their eyes, people who had lost their homes, families, and will to fight on. He realizes that even if those refugees escaped danger, many ended up suffering again under new oppressors. The scene ends with Lin Yen looking somberly at the blue-haired girl, connecting her pain to the countless lives he once witnessed destroyed by conflict. Lin Yen gently reassures the blue-haired girl, telling her not to be afraid and that she can think of him as a mercenary. She hesitantly asks about her brother, wondering if he really helped him. Lin Yen confirms it and tries to comfort her. He then tells her something troubling, that she might be a good person, but she won't survive for long. When she asks why, Lin Yen explains that they are in the Dead City, a place cursed by deadly conditions. The girl reveals that the dark rain falling outside is actually acidic, burning through anything it touches. She warns that prolonged exposure causes a slow, painful death, turning victims into twisted, zombie-like creatures. Realizing this, Lin Yen mutters, "I see," and notes that his body has indeed been feeling weaker, implying the rain is already affecting him. Lin Yen questions the blue-haired girl about her origins and the people with the skull masks. She explains she's from the lower district of a place called the Star Core Era, where people like the masked ones are professional holders, individuals with special abilities or professions. Lin Yen, confused, asks for clarification, realizing that he might not even be in the same world. The girl says it's the year 1004 of the Star Core Era, under the Eagle Empire, a name completely foreign to Lin Yen. He begins to suspect he's somehow traveled to another world. The girl reassures him that anyone who obtains an emblem can become a professional holder. She reveals that her brother stole an emblem so that she could awaken as one too, showing the stolen emblem in her hand. A girl tearfully clutches a book, mourning her brother, who she says is never coming back. She blames herself for letting him go alone to get the emblem. Lin Yen gently asks if she has any other relatives, but she replies that her brother was her only family. She explains that he was a professional holder who could handle the dangers of the Dead City, and she had believed that with his protection, she could survive too. Lin Yen sympathizes, saying they're both unfortunate souls. Just as he begins to express hope about surviving their situation, creatures suddenly break in, catching the girl's attention. She panics as Lin Yen realizes the monsters are attacking. A girl urgently flips through her book while monsters approach. She shouts in frustration that she has no mana left, meaning she can't use magic to fight. As she tries to use the emblem her brother left, it suddenly rejects her, glowing violently. Shocked, she wonders what's happening. Lin Yen explains that an emblem rejects its user for two possible reasons: either the user lacks sufficient magical power or the emblem already belongs to someone else. Feeling defeated, the girl breaks down, calling herself useless and lamenting that even the one thing her brother left her doesn't recognize her. A group of skeleton-like enemies chases after the blue-haired girl. They notice she suddenly stops running and mock her, thinking she's given up. One of them dismisses her as unworthy of wasting arrows on, while another approaches to finish her off. As they rush toward her, the girl looks terrified but determined. Lin Yen, watching nearby, activates a mysterious power. His right eye glows bright red with energy, suggesting he's about to unleash an ability or attack to protect her. Lin Yen activates a dark, powerful transformation surrounded by red and black energy. A system notification appears: class change successful. His new status is revealed: name, Lin Yen Qian, class, Demonic Swordsman, part of the Legion of Chaos. His abilities include mastery of all sword types, dark force perception, high vitality, and extreme killing intent. His aura grows immensely, shocking everyone nearby. The scene ends with him standing confidently, glowing blue eyes and surrounded by demonic energy, symbolizing his complete awakening into a deadly new form. Lin Yen unlocks a new ability card: Arcane Explosion, active skill of Blade of Hell. He tests his new power, unleashing a devastating sword attack filled with demonic energy. The blue-haired girl watches in awe as he demonstrates incredible strength. He realizes how this world functions: people have panels that grant skills and abilities. The girl warns him that using an emblem without permission is forbidden, implying danger. Before they can react further, enemies attack with green energy waves, shouting threats. He swiftly steps in to protect the girl, blocking the attack with his sword, ending the scene with a powerful counterstrike. The masked enemies are shocked, shouting that what they're seeing is impossible. Lin Yen unleashes a powerful sword attack, surrounded by dark energy. He cuts through multiple opponents effortlessly, his strikes forming swirling energy waves. The enemies panic, trying to attack together, but Lin Yan's overwhelming strength destroys them. The blue-haired girl is astonished, realizing that his emblem has greatly amplified his abilities. She thinks to herself that he might be the only one capable of defeating the powerful skull masks. Lin Yen ends the fight standing firm, sword in hand, his dark aura still radiating power. Lin Yen marvels at the power of the emblem, realizing that it has even healed his corroded body. The surviving skull mask members are stunned that they lost to a newly awakened rookie. As they try to retreat, Lin Yen attacks again, declaring that none of them will escape alive, killing the remaining enemies with a powerful strike. The blue-haired girl warns that the noise will attract reinforcements and urges him to escape quickly. Lin Yen agrees but notes that it's too risky to exit through the upper tunnel. The girl then tells him to follow her to a hidden safe area where she has taken shelter before. A girl invites Lin Yen to sit and rest while she tidies up the place. Lin Yen looks around and asks if she's managing the shop alone. She reveals that there used to be two of them, but now she's the only one left, implying her brother is gone. Lin Yen apologizes for bringing up her brother, and she tells him it's fine. Suddenly, footsteps are heard, and a group led by a powerful man called Warlord enters the shop. The man confronts the girl, asking if her brother ever told her about a deal he made with him, leaving her confused as she asks, "What deal?" The warlord realizes the girl doesn't know about the supposed deal her brother made and smirks menacingly. He orders his men to take her away, and they grab her as she struggles, yelling for them to let her go. Lin Yen steps in, shouting, "Stop," to halt them. The warlord turns to him, irritated, asking who he is to interfere with his business. He demands to know what right he has to take her. The warlord arrogantly replies that it's the right of the warlord. Lin Yen tells the warlord he knows he's a good person deep down and asks him to let the girl go. The warlord mocks the idea of being a good person, saying that means nothing in Dead Man's City. Lin Yen asks for the girl's price, offering to buy her freedom. Amused, the warlord reveals her price is tied to his mine pit, a deadly place filled with sand-devouring worms that eat people alive. He pretends to agree, saying he'll return the girl, but only after Lin Yen survives and makes a deal with him, before launching a powerful attack. The warlord launches a powerful punch aimed directly at Lin Yen, showing his intent to test or crush him after challenging him to make a deal. The chapter ends with this cliffhanger, setting up the next battle between Lin Yen and the warlord. The warlord attacking Lin Yen, delivering a powerful punch. Lin Yan's companion warns him not to engage, but the warlord strikes anyway. Lin Yen counters by drawing his sword and blocking the attack, shocking everyone. The warlord, clearly surprised, realizes that Lin Yen is far stronger than expected, even capable of matching his strength. Lin Yen blocks the warlord's attack, impressing everyone and proving his strength. He confidently asks if he now qualifies to negotiate. The warlord, still skeptical, mocks him for being a rookie but proposes a deal. If Lin Yen can defeat a lower district boss and take over his prison block, he'll acknowledge him. Lin Yen accepts. The warlord sets the time for the next day at 8 a.m., warning that anyone late will die. As the warlord leaves, Lin Yen reflects that the situation is now fully in his hands. After the warlord leaves, Lin Yen analyzes the situation, realizing brute force alone won't secure victory. He decides to enhance his abilities using his system's powers. Activating his Netherflame God statue talent, he summons a dark, fiery manifestation of immense strength. The power surges through him as he prepares to face tomorrow's deadly challenge, knowing he must master this dangerous new ability to survive. Lin Yen tests his new weapon's power, effortlessly slicing through a wall with immense force. He reflects that the body he currently inhabits isn't his own but belongs to someone named Diwujin Quan. Realizing this, he resolves to adapt to the new identity and body, determined to use its strength and potential to overcome the challenges ahead. Half an hour later, Lin Yen meets his teammates at a lively bar. While they drink, he asks about Pit 1. His red-haired companion explains that it's actually a mine, where dangerous creatures called sand burrowers lurk underground. These monsters attack anything that moves above them, making the mine extremely hazardous. Lin Yen confirms that their mission is indeed to head into the pit filled with dangerous sand burrowers. His red-haired companion raises a toast, wishing them luck. Meanwhile, in another location, Li Hongyu angrily slams his fist on a table, furious that an emblem he wanted has gone missing. His subordinates nervously report that the emblem vanished during transport, hinting at a brewing conflict over this powerful item. Li Hongyu furiously demands answers about the missing emblem, ordering his men to retrieve it immediately, no matter the method. One subordinate hesitates, suggesting it might have been taken by mistake, but Li Hongyu dismisses the idea and commands them to kill anyone involved if necessary. He then issues another order: before entering Pit 1, everyone must undergo a strict scan. He suspects the thief might be among those preparing for the mission and vows to uncover the culprit personally. The next day, a train arrives to transport the participants to Pit 1. A loud official urges everyone to hurry and board quickly before departure. Amid the crowded scene, the protagonist and other recruits make their way through the platform. Li Hongyu and his subordinates supervise the process, ensuring all participants are present. After confirming attendance, Li Hongyu coldly instructs his men to begin the scanning procedure, determined to find the person who stole the emblem before the train leaves. A man activates a scanning device that detects the stolen emblem, set to trigger an alarm if found. Li Hongyu orders his men to begin the search immediately and commands them to start from one side. The protagonist stays calm amid the tension, silently observing as the inspection begins, clearly aware of the danger but maintaining his composure. He's urged by a companion or officer to quit wasting time and get on the train. As he rushes forward, he collides with others while trying to board. Inside the train, passengers complain about overcrowding, saying it's too full and they can't fit anyone else in. A sinister hooded figure appears, holding a glowing purple energy, clearly plotting something malicious. The protagonist senses this presence and feels an intense wave of dark energy or malice nearby. Meanwhile, the overcrowded train becomes chaotic, passengers are panicking and struggling to breathe, some even being crushed due to the tight space. The crowd shouts that 2 people have already died from being crushed, emphasizing the dangerous situation. The tension builds as the hero realizes something ominous is happening amid the chaos. Armed officers burst into the crowded area, shouting, "Nobody move," and ordering everyone to raise their hands. The protagonist complies, looking cautious. A confident officer steps forward, announcing that something valuable was lost in the lower city yesterday and demands whoever took it to hand it over. Hearing this, the protagonist realizes it might be connected to the emblem he found earlier, thinking it can't be a coincidence. The officer smirks, noting that since no one is confessing, they'll just find the culprit themselves, setting up a tense confrontation. A hovering drone appears, scanning the crowd with a blue light to detect spiritual energy and locate the missing item. One officer warns the crowd that if he's the one who finds it, the culprit will be dead. The drone passes over the protagonist, but the scan reports no spiritual energy detected. He looks calm and slightly amused, knowing he's avoided suspicion. The drone then continues its search through the rest of the crowd, while tension remains high. The drone scan suddenly detects strong spiritual energy from someone in the crowd, a hooded figure. The officer immediately points and shouts, "So it was you," accusing the person of being the culprit. The startled man under the hood panics, yelling in confusion, "What the hell is going on?" as the drone scanner continues to lock onto him with bright lights. Tension spikes as it becomes clear that the real suspect has been found, triggering chaos in the scene. The accused hooded man panics and tries to flee but is quickly restrained by the officer. The officer threatens him, demanding he hand over the stolen item or face consequences. Terrified, the man pleads for his life and presents a purple crystal, claiming it's all he has. The officer examines it and identifies it as a cursed crystal. Disgusted, he angrily crushes it in his hand, shouting, "Who the hell wants this piece of junk?" The shattered crystal hints that something dangerous or ominous might be released. After destroying the cursed crystal, the officer orders the drone to resume scanning for spiritual energy. The drone continues its search but reports no new anomalies detected, frustrating the officer. He then commands, "Next car," signaling his team to move on. Time passes. 5 hours later, the train is shown traveling through the countryside, while ominous giant roots or tendrils rise from the ground, hinting at a looming supernatural threat. The protagonist and another passenger discuss how long they've been on the train. The man explains that the red light ahead signals they're entering the pit, a dangerous zone filled with monsters. He adds that the deeper they go, the more dangerous it becomes, and that the guards already left the train, leaving the passengers on their own. As the train speeds through the ominous red landscape, both men jump off. The protagonist lands safely and says, "Looks like this is the destination," then decides he can't stick around, ready to move on to his next objective. Leaps from the moving train and lands skillfully in a cavern glowing with red crystals and eerie light. He surveys the area, realizing it's a completely unknown and dangerous place, commenting that he's lost without a guide. As he starts moving forward, he suddenly senses movement behind him. Someone or something is approaching fast, prompting him to turn around and prepare for action. Suddenly draws his weapon with intense energy, seemingly preparing to strike or defend against an unseen threat. The scene ends on this tense moment, marking the cliffhanger conclusion of the chapter. He engages in an intense battle, slashing his sword with great force. He leaps forward through a red, crystal-filled cavern, striking at his opponent. During the fight, the protagonist mocks his enemy, saying, "You talk too much for someone who's about to die," while his opponent angrily shouts back, "Just shut your mouth and die." The battle intensifies as the two fighters clash blades in a flurry of motion. The silver-haired opponent mocks the protagonist, saying he should fight harder, but the main character overpowers him with a powerful downward strike. The silver-haired man is soon pinned and wounded, screaming in pain as the protagonist furiously yells, "Go to hell." Cornered and terrified, the opponent begs for his life, pleading that he had no choice, ending the scene on a moment of desperation and tension. After defeating his opponent, he interrogates the wounded man. The man reveals his name is Chunqua and admits he attacked because he'd been trapped in the area for over 10 days and was desperate. Chen explains how one can become a professional soldier by killing monsters and that earning badges for such feats is rare. He shares details about the harsh survival conditions in this pit. Those without strength starve, while the strong take what they need. When asked how to level up, Chen says they must kill bugs, but warns that in this zone, the bugs start at level 11, making survival even harder. Chen grimly says they're just here to be fertilizer, implying how hopeless survival is in the pit. Suddenly, a giant red blood mosquito attacks them. The protagonist reacts quickly, saving Chen from being impaled. The creature is identified as a red blood mosquito, level 9, tier 1, a dangerous monster. The protagonist realizes the area is filled with these creatures, while Chen panics and shouts that they need to run away immediately if they want to survive. Chen panics as the red blood mosquito attacks, but the protagonist swiftly counters, slashing through the monster with a powerful strike. He confidently remarks that while the creature is high level, his talent is exceptional. Amazed, Chen exclaims that the protagonist one-shot a red blood mosquito and immediately offers to become his right-hand man, pledging to do whatever he says in admiration and awe. After defeating the previous monster, the protagonist rejects Chen's offer to team up, saying he doesn't need dead weight. As Chen sulks, the protagonist notices a strange glowing portal forming nearby. Suddenly, a crystal or bug, level 15, tier 1, bursts out of it, catching both of them off guard. The protagonist realizes the danger and yells, "Oh crap," as the powerful new enemy charges toward them. The crystal or bug charges toward the two characters with incredible speed. Chen panics and screams for help as the monster closes in. The protagonist quickly reacts, pulling Chen out of harm's way just in time. The creature lets out a deafening roar, and the protagonist prepares to confront it head-on, standing his ground against the powerful beast. Faces the crystal or bug head-on, analyzing that while it has strong defenses, its movements are slow and predictable. Summoning his power, he prepares to strike. As the monster charges at him, he unleashes a powerful sword technique called 3000 Flows, aiming to overpower the creature with speed and precision. He strikes fiercely at the crystal or bug with a devastating slash, unleashing tremendous energy. Despite the monster's tough defense, he successfully lands a critical hit. After the intense attack, he examines the creature's remains, realizing the core is intact and preparing to collect it as loot. He loots from the defeated monster and finds a rare equipment, crystal or light armor, fragment, with high defense stats. Excited, he tries to equip it but receives an error message saying it cannot be equipped. Frustrated but undeterred, he decides to leave the cave and sell the loot later. However, as he turns to go, he spots a swarm of glowing red eyes, a group of new enemies emerging from the darkness. He finds himself surrounded by a swarm of crystal or bugs but remains calm and confident. He remarks that the crystals are valuable and perfect for gathering materials, then charges in with determination. As he slashes through the enemies, a system message appears stating he has killed the crystal or bug leader, triggering an emergency event, 10%, hinting that something more dangerous is about to happen. Slaughters waves of crystal or bugs, triggering multiple system notifications of kills and emergency events. Amid the chaos, he obtains a green gem drop and learns that a powerful Knight Baron, a higher-level commander, has appeared. While examining the gem, he remarks on the good loot before suddenly noticing something unexpected approaching. He swiftly slashes through an enemy, but a massive armored bug suddenly appears, identified as a crystal or bug commander, level 35, tier 2. Realizing the huge power gap, he acknowledges it's not a fight he can win and decides retreat is the only smart option. He quickly devises a plan and uses nearby wolf monsters to his advantage. As the crystal or bug commander attacks, he redirects its aggression toward the wolves by manipulating its attention. The bug unleashes a deadly acid attack on them instead, and the hero smirks. His hate transfer tactic worked perfectly. He watches as the wolves and the crystal or bug commander clash violently, his plan working perfectly. He decides to let them weaken each other, waiting for the perfect opportunity to deliver the final blow and end the battle. He charges into battle, unleashing a massive, explosive sword strike against monstrous enemies with glowing red eyes. As the beasts roar and attack, he declares with determination, "Let's wipe down this by my own hands," emphasizing his resolve to defeat them all using his ultimate technique. He launches a powerful attack, shouting, "Die," as his sword strike pierces a monstrous enemy, causing a massive explosion. The system confirms that his skill, Nuclear Explosion Swordsmanship, 1/1 kill, has been successfully executed. Afterwards, he remarks that although the skill is strong, it consumes too much mana, making it impractical for frequent use. As he walks away through the aftermath of the explosion, he reflects that he'll need to find a way to improve the technique's efficiency. He examines a glowing blue crystal he obtained after the battle. The system reveals that it's a mana crystal with powerful energy and valuable properties. He notes that it could be useful for upgrading his skills. Suddenly, he senses danger. Someone is nearby. The ground starts shaking, explosions erupt, and he prepares for combat. Warning, stay back. Just go, or die all of you. The scene ends with a mysterious glowing figure appearing inside a crystalline barrier, hinting at a new and possibly powerful presence. He notices a mysterious figure emerging from the glowing light and realizes it might be someone familiar. The scene shifts to another man trapped in a cave, armed and wounded, lamenting that he might die there. Surrounded by flying monsters, he prepares himself for a final stand, saying he'll take down as many as he can before he dies. Determined, he loads his gun and says, "Rather than wait to die, I'll make one last shot," showing his resolve to fight until the very end. The red-haired man fights desperately against a swarm of fiery monsters, determined to survive. As he's overwhelmed, he cries out in frustration, refusing to accept his fate and shouting that he just wants to live. At the last moment, a powerful slash cuts through the enemies before they can kill him. Shocked, he looks up to see the dark-haired protagonist standing before him, calmly saying, "Hey, we meet again." The scene ends with the red-haired man's relief and disbelief at being saved. That man expresses shock that he managed to kill two powerful bosses. The protagonist humbly replies, "It was nothing." Grateful, the red-haired man thanks him and admits he owes him one. The two decide to leave the area together. However, just as they're about to go, the red-haired man notices something alarming. The supposedly defeated monsters begin to stir again, their eyes glowing red as they roar back to life. Realizing the danger, both men react in alarm as the threat returns. The monstrous boss revives and unleashes a fiery, explosive attack, roaring with rage. The protagonist and the red-haired man react quickly as flames erupt around them. The protagonist shouts, "Watch out," and pulls his ally to safety as the creature charges again, engulfed in blazing fire. The chapter ends on a tense cliffhanger, with the massive monster roaring and preparing for another strike, setting up the next intense battle. The red-haired man faced the revived fiery monster once more. He tells his ally to back him up while he prepares to finish the fight. Together, they launch a coordinated attack. The red-haired man fires his weapon while the protagonist uses his sword, creating a powerful blue energy blast that collides with the monster's flames. After the impact, the red-haired man jokes, asking if the enemy is finally dead, and the protagonist smirks, replying that it's not over yet, this monster is far from normal. The last panel shows the fiery creature still alive, roaring fiercely as it charges again. He charges at the fiery monster with intense determination, dodging its attacks and striking back with precision. The red-haired man watches in awe, commenting on how insanely powerful and reckless his companion is. The monster retaliates with a devastating energy blast, but the protagonist endures, analyzing the creature's movements. He realizes that the monster is powered by nether flame, an unstable energy source. Activating his own ability, he surrounds himself with blue energy armor, preparing to counterattack with full force. The scene ends as he powers up for a decisive strike. The battle continues, clad in blue energy armor, clashes fiercely with the fiery monster. His blue flames overpower the creature's red inferno, shocking the red-haired observer. The man is astonished, realizing that blue flames are supposed to be impossible for a human to control. Despite the overwhelming heat, the protagonist stands firm, his aura radiating intense power. After the fight, the protagonist calmly analyzes the situation, noting that the creature was a Tier 1 first-order monster and that its unstable core made it vulnerable. The red-haired man expresses gratitude and admiration, calling the protagonist incredible. The hero, modest but confident, replies that it's nothing special, he's just doing his job as a hunter. He examines his weapon, noting that it can absorb and convert energy efficiently, even supporting his abnormal power. The red-haired man expresses surprise at the hero's ability, calling it rare and remarkable. As they talk, the red-haired man opens up about his past. He's from a family where everyone awakened strong abilities, except him. He felt like an outcast and turned to technology to fight instead. The protagonist listens quietly, showing understanding. The red-haired man then says the protagonist reminds him of himself and implies they might be alike. The hero is confused, asking, "Me? The same kind?" The man smiles and explains that he's already heard about the hero's exploits and looks forward to seeing him again, leaving the protagonist surprised and asking, "You know me?" The red-haired man recounts ancient history. Over 1,000 years ago, a powerful warrior known as the Guardian once protected humanity. Both factions have long searched for his legendary weapon, believed to hold immense power. He explains that many challengers have failed to retrieve it, but he finally discovered a clue during his exploration. The protagonist listens with growing curiosity and asks if the man has actually found the Guardian's weapon. The man smirks and shows a glowing artifact shaped like a bat. A system notification appears, identifying it as the Guardian's emblem, a key to unlocking the Guardian's sealed weapon. The protagonist reacts in awe, exclaiming, "A guardian's weapon?" He activates the artifact, which shatters and releases a burst of light, materializing into a glowing sword. He admires its craftsmanship and balance, noting that it feels just as good, if not better, than his previous weapon. Curious about its true strength, he decides to test it. With a powerful swing, he unleashes a massive red energy wave that slices through the surroundings effortlessly. Impressed, he remarks on how fast and powerful the attack was. The scene closes with a promotional panel for the series, Madara, showcasing details about its creators and social media links. He receiving a new skill card titled Arcane Explosion, the strongest skill of rank 1 mage. He equips himself with 2 swords, expressing his excitement to test out this new ability on his own. As he activates the skill, energy surges through the weapon, and he watches in awe as the power manifests successfully. Smiling with satisfaction, he confirms that the skill works perfectly and admires the sword's immense potential. His companion comments on how the weapon seems to suit him, noting that he's naturally gifted in combat. The protagonist, however, remains humble, saying he won't let the praise get to his head and continues preparing for what's ahead. His ally tells him that he wants to make a deal with him and reveals a glowing golden crystal, explaining that it's a rare legendary grade energy core. He clarifies that unlike ordinary cores, this one contains immense magical energy but is difficult to control. The protagonist is surprised by its rarity, prompting the red-haired man to explain the ranking system of energy cores, from lowest to highest. Gray, common. Green, rare. Blue, superior. Purple, exceptional. Orange, epic. Gold, legendary. Red, mythic. The red-haired man proposes trading this legendary core to him in exchange for a favor. The protagonist seems intrigued but cautious, questioning why he'd agree so easily. The red-haired man insists that it's a fair deal and extends his hand, saying, "Let's seal the deal, partner." The red-haired man presents a map, explaining that it leads to a place connected to a powerful ancient demon. He says that with his guidance, he can find and fight the demon within a certain zone. He examines the map and asks for clarification. The red-haired man reveals that according to his analysis, the area is tied to a demon lord sealed long ago, and he needs help to uncover its location and possibly the source of its power. Questions how to open the seal, and the red-haired man says it can be done with a specific type of magical circle. He notes he'll need to make one himself, but the red-haired man offers to assist him with that. As they prepare to cooperate, the red-haired man teases the protagonist, asking how he knew what the map truly represented, implying there's more to the protagonist's knowledge and experience than he's letting on. He tells that man that he has a clue about the demon's location, prompting the man to ask how he knows that. Explains that even without the map, the seal's energy leaves traces nearby, and those remnants can guide them to the target. The red-haired man admits that makes sense, showing the map again and explaining that the red X mark represents a possible entrance to where the demon is sealed. The protagonist agrees to cooperate, but with a condition: he'll help find and unseal the demon, but he wants all the materials gathered from the area as compensation. The red-haired man agrees, sealing the deal with a handshake. As they move deeper into the cavern together, the protagonist comments that it feels like they're being watched. Suddenly, the red-haired man shouts a warning, "Watch out! Behind you!" as something threatening appears from the darkness. A giant scorpion-like monster suddenly ambushes them, attacking with its massive claws and tail. He quickly reacts, drawing his sword to block the strike. The creature lets out a loud roar as the two prepare for battle. The protagonist tells the red-haired man to stay back, saying he'll handle the monster himself. He charges forward, dodging and countering the creature's attacks with speed and precision. After a swift exchange, he slashes through the monster's body, killing it. As the scorpion falls lifeless to the ground, the protagonist stands over it, calmly remarking that the monster was just a lesser guardian, meaning there might be even stronger enemies deeper inside. The red-haired man, injured but defiant, insists he can still fight and rushes at the monster with determination. He lands several strikes, but the creature roars and counters violently, nearly overwhelming him. Seeing his ally in danger, the protagonist leaps into action with incredible speed, shouting for the monster to stay away from his companion. He delivers a powerful, decisive slash that cuts through the creature with immense force, turning the battle in their favor. Continues his fierce assault, slashing through multiple monstrous enemies that emerge from the shadows. Despite being surrounded by terrifying creatures with glowing red eyes, he stands his ground, ready for the next wave. The chapter ends on a tense cliffhanger, setting up for an even larger battle ahead. Intense fight unleashing a powerful sword attack that cuts through his enemies. As a swarm of monsters approaches, his red-haired ally decides to stay behind and hold them off, allowing the protagonist to move forward. Determined, he charges ahead, slicing through the enemy horde with swift, decisive strikes. Swiftly cuts down multiple scorpion-like monsters with precise sword strikes, triggering a system message confirming his kills and experience gain. He notes that the creatures weren't as difficult to defeat as expected. His red-haired ally remarks on the impressive strength the protagonist displays, comparing it to that of a higher-level professional. As they talk, the protagonist notices something unusual, strange objects embedded in the cave's ceiling, prompting his companion to warn him about potential hidden dangers above. A giant plant-like monster with a gaping mouth attacks him, roaring fiercely. He quickly analyzes its movements and spots an obvious weakness. Moving decisively, he dodges the attack and counters with a precise slash to the weak point, noting that the creature is completely defenseless. His swift strike slices through the monster, defeating it with ease. He finishes off the giant plant monster with a powerful strike, causing it to explode. A system message announces his victory and experience gain. His red-haired companion is amazed by his clean, precise sword technique, comparing it to slicing tofu. After the fight, two glowing orbs appear, one pink and one blue. They reveal as loot, a floral-mounted ring, epic, that boosts healing spells, and a divine radiance, blue, spell, which enhances healing and purification magic. The red-haired man asks Jin Chun if he has a desolation skill. Jin explains that his attacks inflict desolation, which suppresses healing and recovery. The wounds he causes can't easily regenerate. When asked if he has a crest, Jin replies no. The red-haired man explains that crests are proof of sponsorship from gods or universes, granting unique powers. He's impressed by Jin's knowledge, and Jin responds that his experience hunting monsters for a long time taught him a lot. Jin and the red-haired man explore a fiery cave filled with molten rock. The red-haired man explains that Tier 3 lava benevator lords inhabit the area, monsters known for high regeneration and resistance to magic. He suggests Jin fight one to test his abilities. When they find a huge lava benevator lord sleeping, Jin prepares to attack despite its immense defense, saying he'll give it a try. Jin and his ally launch an attack on the massive lava benevator lord. Their initial strike barely affects the creature due to its tough defense. Undeterred, Jin powers up his blade with intense determination, shouting for the monster to taste my blade, and delivers a powerful slash directly toward the monster's head. Jin delivers a powerful, fiery attack that completely annihilates the lava benevator lord. A system message confirms the monster's defeat, granting Jin a significant achievement. His companion is shocked, amazed that Jin managed to take down a level 99 domain lord. Standing confidently amid the ruins, Jin smiles and comments about possibly earning an epic grade item from the fight, clearly pleased with his victory. Jin obtains a powerful new item called Arcane Explosion, a high-grade magic spell card. The scene transitions to a summary of his recent accomplishments and the loot obtained from the dungeon, detailing several rare and epic-grade items. Jin reviews the spoils, thinking about how he might enhance them further. His companion excitedly lifts up one of the treasures, celebrating their victory and amazed at the incredible rewards they managed to secure from the powerful dungeon boss. Jin and his companion discuss how Jin managed to acquire his powerful skill cards so efficiently. Jin explains that he usually gets them by defeating monsters, though it's mostly luck. His friend mentions that some players invest heavily or depend on fortune-based ability balls to gain skills, but Jin's progress seems exceptional. Jin clarifies that his method relies more on careful planning and strategy than luck. Impressed, his companion praises his skill and suggests they move on to the next location to continue their progress. Jin and his companion plan their next move using a map, discussing how clearing all the zones will earn them valuable rewards and experience. The scene then shifts to Lower City, where a group of businessmen talks about a young master who has been inactive for some time. They discuss internal company issues and missing funds, suggesting someone is plotting against him. Suddenly, the young master reacts angrily to news that someone has been meddling in his affairs, his eyes glowing ominously as his rage intensifies. The young master makes a call to his second uncle, demanding action regarding a pressing issue but gets no response, growing frustrated when the call ends abruptly. He then contacts someone else, boasting about his family's influence in the upper city and his plan to personally deal with the situation. Meanwhile, another man, Fang Han, reports from a rooftop, confirming that the target the young master is after is currently in the demon zone, indicating they're closely monitoring Jin's movements. Fang Han is told he's on his own for the mission. He discusses the situation with an elder, who warns that finding the target won't be easy since the demon's barrier makes communication and tracking difficult. The elder advises caution, noting the area's dangers. Meanwhile, Jin successfully defeats the Minotaurus Beetle King, a powerful monster stronger than him, showcasing his exceptional skill. Standing beside the fallen beast, Jin reflects confidently, saying he already knew he could win. Jin finishes off the Minotaurus Beetle King with a powerful attack, gaining significant experience points and leveling up. He then extracts the monster's soul using his Learn skill, absorbing its power. A dark aura surrounds him as his strength visibly increases. His companion praises how quickly he's growing stronger, and Jin replies confidently that he just needs to keep fighting stronger monsters to continue advancing. Jin and his ally notice many monsters gathered near a large body of water. Jin suggests that a powerful boss might be hiding beneath the surface. His companion charges forward, shouting that they should finish the smaller monsters quickly to lure the boss out. As they attack, a massive creature suddenly emerges from the water, an enraged fish, level 23, confirming Jin's suspicion about the lurking threat.